You're listening to Operation Self Reset with Jake Naraki. What is going on, you freaking awesome people? Welcome back to Operation Self Reset. My name is Jake Naraki, coming to you live from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where each and every week we dive into a different topic in the world of personal development. Well, congratulations to all of you listeners. Today is the end of 2019. Hopefully, you're listening to this live. If you're listening this in the future, well, regardless of where you're at currently, this message will apply to you. Now, as you know, I am not the one-stop shop, not the end-all be-all when it comes to personal development, but I do enjoy the mindset. I do enjoy the setting, the vision, the belief structure, all that jazz. But one thing that I want to talk about today is the time equation. And that is an idea that was presented to me kind of early on. But when you are laser focused on the task at hand, when you really want something so bad, you don't think of the long term. You think of, I want it now. We're an instant gratification society. We want to lose the weight now. We want to be rich now. We want to have the best relationships now. You want to go on amazing vacations now. You want to have your life squared away now. You don't want to wait for things to kind of pan out. You don't want to wait for things to, kind of grow into what it is you potentially want. And it's a message that I heard as of late that kind of reminded me of this, and it was a young individual wanting to build a brand new clothing company. And that clothing company, he had a vision, he had goals, he had the mindset, he had the connections. But the one thing that he was not in tune with is the idea of understanding that it's going to take time. And he had a 5 year plan of where he was going to be in 5 years and the goals that were going to assist in that growth and that pattern. Now, if you looked at his plan from the outside looking in, you'd be like, dude, this guy's squared away. This guy has everything in place that will allow him to get to that end destination. And the individual that was kind of overseen as the mentor, quote unquote, is that the one thing that you don't, now this is him speaking to the young entrepreneur. He said the one thing that you don't personally have is the time equation. And that is understanding that what it is that you want right here, right now, is going to take time. It is not going to be the 5 year window. And at first, the guy was like, "What are you talking about? I can do this in 5 years." And the mentor was saying that what he was trying to get through is it's not that I don't believe that you can achieve it in 5 years. What I'm afraid of is you losing the momentum if you don't hit these goals in 5 years. So instead of you focusing on the next 5 years, I want you to think of the next 10 years, 1 decade. And the guy was like, "Well, that's ridiculous, blah blah blah. I don't see how I won't be able to accomplish these goals in 5 years. What will I want to accomplish in 10 years? I have a vision. I have all this stuff." And the mentor was saying that basically, boiled down to its simplest form, is that we get caught up in the instant gratification. That if we don't achieve our vision in a year, 2 years, 5 years, 8 years, that we're going to give up and we're going to crash. And relating to here we are, end of December, or I should say middle of the December, getting prepared for the new year, and everybody's thinking about what they want to achieve and their goals and visions, holiday plans, vacations, vacation time, all that stuff is getting put into motion. Chances are we're not thinking beyond 2020. We're not thinking into 2021. We're thinking for the calendar year of 2020. And if we don't accomplish the goals, the visions that we have in 2020, then we're going to fall off the bandwagon for 21, 22, 23, and as you can see, the years go by. And it's kind of funny because for myself, I still work a full time job. Probably for you, you have a full time job. You're already thinking about the vacation days for next year. You're thinking about the holiday planning. You're thinking about getting off for Christmas break or Thanksgiving break if you have kids, or summer. Where are you going to travel to? What are you going to do? Where are you going? Who are you going to hang out with? And we have all these visions of what we have put in place for next year. But chances are that when we have visions for ourselves of our health, of our spiritual side, of our financial side, of our relationship side. It's all over the place. And or if it's not all over the place, it's very specific just to help us in that year. But let's think, for example, instead of trying to lose 10 pounds by March of 2020, what if we could maintain a body weight of 180 over the course of the next 5 years as opposed to losing 20 pounds in the next 5 months? And it's hard to say because when we have a bigger vision, it's hard to stay motivated. But yet, if we set something so small and we chase after it and we run, we work, we hit it, then we celebrate. And then we dip back down into our old selves. And so, really, it's a yin and the yang. It's the plus and the minus. It's the benefit and the kryptonite. And so, for you, when you're reflecting and you're trying to grow and trying to become better, what motivates you? And what allows you to be your personal best? Is it short term goals? Is it you reflecting on goals every month, every 3 months, every once a year? Or are you the type of person that if you do set a short goal, you will not be able to accomplish that because you're going to lose motivation if it's too short? And some of us like the big vision, but at the same time, the big vision can be altered by life altering moments of loss, job relocation, things that happen personally. We just get blindsided by depression or anxiety or some other kryptonite that sneaks into our lives. And so, in summary, here, what I'm trying to get to is that the message is a lot of us want that thing now. We want it today. We want to be that thing, to earn that thing, to drive that thing right here, right now. And unfortunately, we're not willing to wait. And it's up to you to decipher if you are a short term and long term vision person and to plan accordingly. Unfortunately, this end of this year here, you're trying to reflect, you're trying to get organized, you have a lot of moving parts, you're busy, you're shopping, you're celebrating, you're connecting, you're trying to plan. All I can say is set time aside, put in your calendar, set a personal date, one on one, you and a computer, you and a pad of paper, you just by yourself. Do something, go out to dinner just with you. Sounds weird, but the weird things actually work. And plan your future. Plan your best days. Plan what it is that you want to accomplish in the next month, 3 months, 6 months, year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and go after and try your best to achieve it. This life that we have can slide by pretty quick. I have a birthday coming up. I'm going to be 35 years old. I've been doing this podcast since I was 29. Have I lost motivation for it at times? Of course. But what is my vision for the future? I am really trying to figure that out. And it's kind of fun in a way to think that 40 is around the corner. Where do I want to be? What do I want to be doing when I'm 40? It's almost so daunting and so big, I can't even wrap my head around it. But yet it's exciting to me because I am in control and I have a fresh 5 years in front of me to move forward. And so the question for you is, where do you want to be in your 5 year window? Is it when you're turning 30, when you're turning 50, when you're turning 60, when you're turning 20, whatever it is? Where do you want to be? What do you want to be doing? What is your vision? And hopefully that motivation that you have today or at that time of your date night just with you will allow you to have that motivation to keep on seeing it through. I think it's good to change. I think it's good to have visions and challenge yourself. But at the same time, I think it's also good to understand that what you have is finite. The one thing that we can't get, no matter how much health you have, or how much wealth you have, or how much connections you have, or how much cars you have, how much love or joy you have personally, the one thing that we all want more of is time. And time is one of those that it's disappearing. It's sand through our hands. And no matter if your life is great or if it's totally chaotic, we always want more time. And unfortunately, we don't have more time. So make the best use of the time that you currently have. instead of watching a 3 hour movie from Netflix called The Irishman, which I just did. It was a good movie, but gosh, was that a waste of time when I could be doing it, when I could be doing other things during that time to benefit myself, to benefit my family. And it's up to you to set that time aside to figure out who is the real you, who is it that you want to become, what are the things you want to go after and achieve. And I challenge you to sit down and to have that conversation with nobody but yourself. And if your wife or spouse, girlfriend, friend think you're crazy for setting time aside for you, then you need to consider that they're crazy for not willing to do the same. So, with that being said, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you very much for being a fan of Operation Self Reset. If there is anything that I can do for you in the meantime, feel free to send me an email, jake@operationselfreset.com. And if you're listening to this right here, right now, you're hearing this for a reason. Set time aside today. It doesn't matter if it's middle of summer, if it's spring break, if it's Christmas time, or a start of a new year. Set time aside for you, for the better good of yourself. So with that being said, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for everything that you're doing. Life is not easy, but by listening to good things, it can assist you in the right ways. So with that, take care of yourself, be freaking awesome, and share a little bit of awesomeness with somebody that personally needs it. All right, take care. We'll see you.